welcome to It's a Mad, Mad, Mad Math World. I'm your host, Joe Hess. What we're going to be doing today is covering how to find the slope of a line when given 2 points. This is a very basic way to find the slope, and we're hoping that you will be able to understand how to do so at the end of this podcast. Now, what I'm doing here is just drawing out our graph, and we have an x-axis which goes from left to right here, and the vertical is the y-axis, which I just marked with the tick mark so we know where we are. Moving on, we're going to draw a short little line here just to give us a reference of our 2 points, and we're going to accent our 2 points that we can choose here as, well, let's go with the 2, 2 for the right upper and the -1, 0 for the other. Now, I will just show you one more time. We have our bottom area point is -1 on the x-axis and 0 for the y, and our upper point is at 2 on the x because it goes 2 right of center and then 2 up. That is our 2, 2, and these are our 2 points. Now what we're going to do is go over the formula for finding the slope, and slope is represented in math as an M, which I always thought that stood for mountain, because mountains have lots of slopes, so you can take that with you and hopefully remember it that way. So the formula that we can have when we have 2 points is the second y point, which is our y2 labeled here, minus our first y point, our y1, divided by our x2, minus our x1 point. And that's going to wind up giving us our rise over our run, our change in y, our vertical, over our change in x, which is our horizontal. And we'll just go ahead and write our points out. We had our second y minus our first y, our 2 minus 0, over our x's, our run, our 2 minus a -1, and if you recall our basic mathematics, 2 minus a negative is going to give us a plus the second number, so we have 2 plus 1 in the end, and it's going to give us a 3, so we have 2 over 3, 2/3 is our slope, and that is our final answer. And let's just circle that so everyone knows that that is what we have decided upon, what we have discerned from this mathematical journey. Okay, so we're going to go back and look at our graph one more time. We have our line and we have our 2 points, which were -1, 0 and 2, 2. We'll just bullet those real quick. Now we'll redraw our formula and just take a second to do that and recap. The formula was y sub 2, our second y point, minus y sub 1, our first y, which is right here. And right there, that is our 2 minus 0. And then we'll go ahead and finish the equation. It was over x2 minus x1, which is our second x point, minus our first x point. Now, that is going to give us our 2 minus 0, which is 2, over our 2 minus a -1, which, if we recall one more time, is the negative, the double negative there turns it into a positive, much like the good old English language. So we're just going to turn both those into positive numbers. We'll take our 2 plus 1, and that's going to give us a 2 over 3. And that is our slope. M equals 2/3. As you can see here, for every 3 units it goes to the right, it goes up 2 units. So you have your rise, your 2 up over your 3 right. Your rise over your run. This has been Finding the Slope with Joe Hess. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in, and tune in next week for our next podcast, which will be the slope-intercept formula, how to tackle it, how to deal with it, how to find your way around it, really. So everybody, I hope you had a wonderful time and a great experience, and we'll see you next week for the next show.